About a year ago, I reviewed the Aventon Aventure, and at that time, Aventon had around 3 or 4 models. Now I see Aventon bikes all over the place, and I just checked their website, which now they have close to 20 models. A company that's able to grow that fast has either got a lot of money to back them, or they make quality e-bikes. And from my experience of reviewing 2 of their models, and now the Aventure 2, I'm gonna have to go with the quality e-bike side. The Aventure 2 is a type of bike that gives as much as you give. It has a very sensitive torque sensor, so the more power you put in the cranks, the faster you go. Here's what I got when just casually pedaling on gear 5.
1 is 13, 2 is 15, 3 is 19, and 4 is 22.
Now, if 22 is too slow for you, all you have to do is increase your cadence or switch to a higher gear.
And there's 29. If I really start to crank it, 29 is as fast as I can go.
I didn't have to increase my cadence that much to hit 29 miles per hour. There was a good mix between what the bike was giving and what I was giving. This is the type of bike where you can get a workout if you slightly increase how fast you pedal. Now, if you hate to work out and you just want to cruise, they did place a nice filling thumb throttle on the left side. I just like the way it looks. It's more durable. It's my favorite type of throttle for fat bikes. It can be removed if you're in an area that doesn't allow throttles.
Throttle's topping out at between 19 and 20, bounces back and forth, so we'll call it 19.5.
The Aventure 2 gives you options as far as a slow and steady or fast and furious start.
So I'm just gonna casually start pedaling from a standstill on gear 1 on turbo mode. And when I do that, nice, easy acceleration. Then if I put some pressure in the pedals, really crank down on them, here we go. And it is much faster. Twice as fast than before.
Again, I'm very impressed with the torque sensor. It makes the bike sort of customizable.
And then on gear 6, going about 15 miles an hour, if I stop pedaling, cuts off right away. If I re-engage, there's, wow, quarter of a revolution before the power comes back on. Going the same speed, if I really crank down fast, yeah, it's like less than a quarter of a revolution before that power comes on.
Motor reaction time all depends on how much pressure you put on the pedals. Now let me show you the reaction time with the throttle.
Ooh, slow, really starts to pick up now, and we're cruising.
You're not gonna be spinning the tires off the line with this.
And then going around 14, 15 miles an hour, if I release it, cuts off right away if I re-engage. There's a slight delay before it comes on.
The throttle is slightly delayed from a standstill, but then very active once you get going about 10 to 15 miles per hour. How fast you want to climb hills depends on you. Here's what I got when climbing a 15% grade hill while just casually pedaling.
All right, so right when I turn around, it starts to climb. So pretty much 0 momentum to start. Got a full charge turbo mode. Holding at 7, this is the steepest part. Feeling some resistance in my legs and the pedals, but bike's doing probably, 85, 90% of the work. Down to 6 for a split second, back up to 7. And that's it.
It gets you to the top, it is just slow, and it makes you work to get there. Aventon has placed some high-end hydraulic brakes on the Aventure 2.
For brakes, the right side controls the rear, left side the front. I like the levers. It doesn't take a lot of pressure to engage the brakes. For light braking, nice and smooth, no grinding or squeaking. And then for hard braking at around 25 miles an hour,
the brakes are what you would expect. They're smooth, powerful, doesn't take a lot of pressure in the levers, and I stopped in 20 feet from going 25 miles per hour. Most bikes in this price range hit about 25 miles when averaging 20 miles per hour. For this test, I averaged 24 miles per hour, so let's see if I can still hit 25 miles. What I got is 25.28 miles with 853 feet of elevation gain. Over 25 miles is awesome for going that fast. First off, they make this in high step or step through. As you can see, got the step through version. So if you're a small rider, makes it easy to mount, dismount. It weighs 77 pounds and can carry a rider up to 400 pounds. It comes in either blue or black. You got two full coverage aluminum alloy fenders. That's a nice feeling fender. It's not that plastic cheap stuff that I see on a lot of bikes. There is an option to put a rear rack on this. And then on the down section, there's two screws to mount a water bottle holder. It's got an internal 48 volt, 15 amp hour battery. You can remove that with the two keys and then charge it outside of the bike or inside of the bike, which takes about 4 to 6 hours. And then in the rear, it's got a 750 watt nominal, 1,130 watt peak brushless motor. As far as geometry, they offer this in two sizes. First size of bike has a rider size of 4'11" up to 5'7". This one is 5'7" up to 6'1". So for my frame of 5'11", as you can see, this is a big bike. I feel like I'm king of the world up here. So you do have a higher center of gravity, but yet with those fat tires and with the battery lower down in the down tube section, it provides very nice stability.
As you could imagine, balance on this is just fantastic. Very easy to ride fat bikes without any hands. I'm pedaling now. If I stop pedaling, power cuts off nice and easy. If I re-engage, power comes on nice and easy. This wants to stand straight up. It's very well balanced.
Moving into the cockpit, you have mountain bike style handlebars. That's 26.8 inches wide. So you have a nice wide stance, which you do need for the size and the frame of the bike. There's a lot of weight to it, it's bigger. The wider the handlebars, the better handling you'll have.
Handling is what you can expect for fat bikes. I call it long and heavy, not a sporty type of a handling. It takes more effort to turn than it does with skinny tire bikes.
They've got my favorite type of grips for fat bikes. They're locked in, they feel nice. They're a little bit smaller, which I prefer. Underneath the grip is an 8-speed trigger shifter, and that's matched with the Shimano Altus derailleur.
Got an 8-speed shifter underneath. From my thumb, 8 to 1. It's about 3.5 pushes. Coming back up with your pointer finger, one at a time, 1 to 8. Very nice feeling shifter. My favorite for a fat bike in this price range.
You got your classic Aventon Velo soft saddle. Not as soft as I would prefer for a commuter bike. And then down below, you got 26 by 4 inch puncture resistant tires. And those are some of the beefier and chunkier tires I've seen for fat bikes. A little bit loud on paved roads, but as far as traction for off-road riding, they are fantastic.
Tires are very knobby, so it's good for off-road, but for paved trail riding, they're a little bit loud. I'll just be quiet, let you listen to them. This is going 25 miles an hour.
Then you got a front fork suspension. You can lock that out and adjust it, and it has 80 millimeters of travel. And it is fairly stiff.
The suspension is really built for bigger bumps. It's very stiff, takes a lot of effort to engage, to have them move. For cracks in the road, smaller bumps, not my favorite. But again, for bigger bumps, that's where the suspension seems to come to life.
So if you do want to take this for off-road riding, just make sure the trail is hard pack, not a lot of bumps, rocks, things like that, and you should be okay. Moving on to the LCD screen and control pad. Control pad on the left, middle button is the power button. Got a nice LCD color display, plus and minus up top again to change the pedal assist levels. Cool thing about this bike is you have left and right turn signals. Turn it off, just hit it again. Hold down the plus button to turn on the headlight. That is a very, very bright headlights. Nice feeling, nice looking. Then you also have very bright tail lights. When you hit the brake lever, they do flare up. Press and hold the minus button for the walk assist mode. If you hold the plus and minus button down at the same time, you enter the advanced settings, and then it does have an app. And this is what the app looks like. It shows you battery life. You can turn the headlights on and off, and then you got all the stats from your rides. In the settings screens, you can change the brightness, set the auto power off from 0 to 100 minutes, and then change the speed limit. Set it from 0 to 32 miles per hour. Change the assist mode, and there you go. There's not a lot that I didn't like about the Aventure 2. If I had to choose one thing, it would be the slow start when using the throttle. Other than that, it is a well put together bike. It's got a nice range, it's comfortable, everything in the cockpit is just nice grips, a nice trigger shifter, hydraulic brakes. There's just a lot of good things that you get for the price. Now, if you want to compare the Aventure 2 to the Aventure 1 that I reviewed last year, or any other bikes in the same price range, I think my website will help you out. I've tried to make it user-friendly so you can either search for the bike or hit the price range you're looking at to see all the bikes I reviewed. As always, I appreciate you guys taking the time to check out my content, and have a good day.